Hey everyone, welcome to the BakuView episode 60. Sorry there hasn't been a video for a while, I've just been really busy recently, so now that I have some time, I wanted to do a video, and there's a lot more to show than Rubanoid, like I was saying for the last time, so I'll try to fit in what I can. I don't know if I'll be able to fit everything in, but hopefully, I guess we'll find out. Starting out, let's go with the Linehalts that I forgot to mention last video. It's not that I forgot about them, it's just that I didn't like how the video turned out, so I refilmed it, and in refilming, I forgot to put them back in, so I was just going through everything real fast because I had already filmed everything, so it just kind of slipped my mind. So here was the Ventus translucent Linehalt, and he was 800G, and the Pyrus one was 850G, so here's the Pyrus one. I think the Pyrus one looks pretty cool. Moving on, Rubanoid obviously was the big thing that I had skipped over for the last video because I wanted to give him more time. So, starting out with the Crimson and Pearl one, first off I'll mention that I don't think I did mention in the last video that not only do they have that more of like a white as opposed to the grayish for the pearl part of them, but the red, it's got these like little speckles in it when you're looking at it in the light. I doubt my camera is showing it very well at all, but I guess that's another addition to these Crimson and Pearls. One other thing I'll mention too is that everything I bought at Target that day, they all have the DNA code showing, and they never cover up, so it's not heat sensitive at all. I don't know if that was just a mistake or if they just stopped doing that for newer stuff, but I mean, I got like Dark Colossus to show you guys and stuff, and the DNA codes are covered in those ones, so I'm guessing it was probably just some kind of manufacturing mistake. Anyway, as you guys can see, this one is a Subterra. Well, you can't see. There we go. And he does show up as Pyrus on Bakugan Dimensions like all the other ones that were different attributes, because apparently the programmers have no idea what they're doing as far as the toys go. They just see a red Bakugan and they decide it's Pyrus. Same goes with anything else that I've seen, like the Subterra Bakugan Stealth here that is supposed to be Subterra, not Pyrus, but I'll get to that later. I'm not really blaming the programming team though. I think it's more that Spin Master just didn't communicate with them, so they had no idea and they just assumed it was Pyrus. So anyway, opening him up, he's pretty easy to open up and close. I mean, he just kind of pops open the head, the arms, and the wings, and equipping battle gear, you just push down on there and it'll just pop back up. Manual parts is just his feet, so he's a pretty simple Bakugan, but I really like his design. I think his head looks pretty cool, and I just like how the wings and everything look on him, that whole smooth effect, like I said, that he's got going on. It's just really neat. And closing him up, obviously the feet go back down. His head just kind of locks in like that, and then you just kind of have to hold it down. You put the hands in first, and then the wings will close up over top of that. So there's Rubanoid. He's pretty easy to to handle. So let me open him back up and place him with the rest of my little collection over there. Anyway, then we have the Subterra and the Darkus one. Now, one thing I'll mention about the Darkus one, I didn't even do it to him. It's just that he came like this. He's got these like little scuff marks on him, and they're really noticeable on the black. I don't think they'd be as noticeable if it was on the Subterra one, but it's just how the Darkus ones are. The black just really makes the any kind of little markings that might get on them stand out. So that's one downside, but he does look pretty cool opened up as Darkus. But as far as G power, he is 750. I forget if I mentioned that the Crimson and Pearl one was 800G. I don't remember if I said it or not now at this point, so I'll say it again. And then the Subterra one is 800G as well. So he's actually the same G power as the Crimson and Pearl Subterra one. So I guess, I don't know, they didn't feel like really making a difference there. As you can see, still his DNA codes are still showing, but whatever. And I really like his Subterra coloring though. I like how the brown and the darker, I guess the tan, I should say, and dark brown look together on him. but I like how the red eyes really stand out on all the Darkus Bakugan as well, so I don't know which one I like the best. I think they're both really cool looking. I'd like to get the Aquos one too, but I don't think they're out yet, aside from if you just got the ones off eBay that people kind of take from factories or wherever the hell, however they get them. So anyway, that was Rubanoid. I got a couple triad packs to show you guys. First one I'll show you is it had Haos Arnaut, Subterra, Sabator, which are not really of concern to me since I have many of them. But the reason why I got it was for this Ventus Snapzoid, which I've never seen before until I saw him in the store, obviously. But he's 680G, and I think he looks pretty cool in Ventus. The whole green, it makes him look more like a reptile kind of thing, since he is sort of like a snake. So there he is. And then the next pack I got had another Subterra, Sabator, exciting, and then it had a Pyrus Snapzoid. And the reason I got this one was for the Aquos Lumino Dragonoid, which I've been looking for a good while, and I never saw him in stores, but I did see him online. And I didn't really want to give in and buy him online because I don't like doing that, so I finally found him at Walmart, and that's where I got him. And he is 610G. The only downside to him is that the paint, if it'll show, the paint on his eye kind of doesn't really focus very well, but it goes off of his eye a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal, I guess, since he still looks pretty cool on his own. Anyway, the last triad I got had Darkus Krakix and Subterra Akwimos, but this one was for the Haos Sabator, which I do not have, or did not have, which I do have now. So he's 650G, and I think he looks pretty cool in Haos with the red eyes and everything. So there he is. And looks like I still have some time, so I might as well move on to the Bakugan Stealth and see what I can fit in. So we'll start out with the BakuShadow, the Darkus Akwimos. So I need to close him up real fast since I had him open. So here he is, all closed up, and just like the Cordum, he's pretty much all gray and black with a few little accents. Has some green on him there, but opening him up, let's see, he is 790G, so that would be his G power. And one thing that I'll mention with him, not that it's really that big a deal, but when I tried to get his DNA code and I pulled off the little sticker, it ripped off the DNA code, so that was kind of upsetting. And then when I put the DNA code in for him, it didn't work, so that was even more upsetting. So I ended up buying another one. This one I just only noticed now kind of has some paint that like spilled down the side of his head, if you can see it. Kind of annoying, but whatever. So I have two of them now, so I'm probably gonna give one of them away. So whenever I get into that whole contest business, I know I keep saying I'm going to, and I was gonna do it with the magnifying glass idea, but I can't find one. Like, I went to Walmart and I looked all over the place for magnifying glass. I figured it'd be in like hardware somewhere if I didn't see anything. So once I find something, then we'll get that whole thing going, and we'll add an Akwimos from the Bakugan Stealth to the list of what's going to be up. But moving along, next we'll do the Subterra, or not Subterra, sorry, he's a Pyrus BakuCamo Lumino Dragonoid. So let me get him all closed back up here. I should have had these guys closed to begin with, but I wasn't thinking about it. Okay, so he looks Subterra, and that's what you'll get on Bakugan Dimensions, but he is Pyrus, as you can clearly see. Well, as clear as you can on this camera. So opening him up, he's the same as any other Dragonoid, so it's not really something big to go over, since we've already showed you Lumino before. but let me get those horns back up. I'm not really that happy that they got rid of the whole metallic effect, but at the same time I guess it makes sense since he's supposed to be camouflaged, so I guess that does make him stand out. As far as his G power, he is 780 G. So there is the BakuCamo. And then we have the BakuGranites, which are red, but they come up as Pyrus even though they're not Pyrus, either of them. So starting out is the Darkus Krakix here. Let me open him up. And Darkus Krakix is 790 G. So there he is, all opened up. And then as far as Sabator, well, I don't feel like closing him and opening him back up. You guys kind of get the idea now. He is 800 G. So I do like this new coloring. They're got the red with like little black speckles in it, and then the orange, so, and yellow eyes as well. So they look pretty cool. And like I said, he's Subterra, so Subterra and Darkus for the BakuGranites. And that's pretty much all I have time for right now, I think. So I'm going to just cut this here, and I'll do another video that'll be put up later on Colossus, which I'll show you real fast. He's pretty huge and pretty awesome, so I'll show you guys that in the next video. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching, you guys.